The most astounding experience I've ever had probably in my life was travelling down to the Antarctic peninsula to film the killer whales for Frozen Planet. It was just the most remarkable experience. We were down there to try to find a holy grail sequence, something that has been talked about for years and years, but no one ever really knew if it was something that really happened or if it was actually sort of, just a legend. In Scott's diaries, they'd had this remarkable experience. Killer whales seeming to work as a team and approach the ice and use a wave to knock off members of his team. But no one had ever really scientifically recorded it, let's say. So we were setting off with this challenge to record this behaviour that possibly might not even exist. We set off and headed out in this phenomenal boat called the Golden Fleece. We had to cross Drake's Passage, which is perhaps the most dangerous passage of water in the world. You're on there for 4 days non-stop, rolling backwards and forwards. So it's just this real sense of adventure as you're going across. You come out of Drake's Passage and then all of a sudden you're coming down the peninsula past all these icebergs and really entering into this icy world. It was quite phenomenal. And the water can be super glassy, and the life around that you're seeing, these groups of penguins, heading out to fish in the morning. It was so exciting to be there. We'd been down there about a week, maybe 8 days. We were getting quite despondent as to whether we were going to see this behaviour. And then the scientists, Bob and John, I heard them shout and they said, killer whales, killer whales. And we knew we were with a group. So the only way we were ever going to be able to keep up with these guys is if we could get a satellite tag onto one of the members of the family group. It attached on, and that was fantastic because that meant then we had this link with this family group of killer whales and we could follow them through the ice. That was really the key. So we continued south to get to the place where there was the potential to get this behaviour, but we still had no idea if we were actually going to see it or if it really happened. We started following these guys, and it was within the first hour we could see this really fascinating behaviour of them spy hopping. Individually they would just poke their heads up and come up, rise up and just have a look around to see what was about. And of course they were looking for the seals. And then when they saw one, when they found a seal or a group of seals lying on the ice, they made a signal and the whole family would just gather around this ice floe. Instead of getting one killer whale coming up, you would start getting 2 and then 3. Still, we didn't really know what was going on. So we were watching this behaviour and going, wow, look, that really interesting seal, maybe they're going to do something. All the killer whales sort of disappeared and we were sort of looking at ourselves and feeling quite happy that we were seeing this thing. And I was just climbing up to the roof of the boat to take the cover off our main camera, the Cineflex camera, and I was halfway up and I heard this shout, wave! And it was like I froze and just looked out, and there is this huge wave heading towards the ice floe, this seal, and the seal's like waking up and kind of looking, and the entire boat is just like like this, and the wave crashed down, and we just knew, that was it. We just, like, the whole boat just went wah, and we just knew that was it. This was the behaviour. We were going to get it, and the hunt was on. I mean, these guys, they were on it. It was the most exciting thing I've ever seen in my life. And that day we filmed, I think, 2 or 3 hunts. I mean, they didn't stop. They kept sending these waves at the ice, and the ice was spinning round, the seal was clinging on and then being flipped off. It was so dramatic. I mean, they were whizzing around and turning around and teaming up again and then diving down and swimming towards the ice and just creating these waves. And it was incredible. It was really amazing. We'd all witnessed something that no one had ever seen before, ever, and it just felt like this total window onto another world and another time and place. It was the most unbelievable privilege.